Today I'm going to discuss the most important play of William Shakespeare. It is also a tragedy. The tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, often shortened to Hamlet, which is a tragedy written by William Shakespeare sometime between 1599 and 1601. It is a Shakespeare longest play with 29,551 words. Set in Denmark, the play depicts Prince Hamlet and his revenge against his uncle Claudius, who has murdered Hamlet's father in order to seize his throne and marry Hamlet's mother. So in this paragraph, we comes to know that how the tragedy of Hamlet is happening in Denmark when his father was murdered by his uncle Claudius and marry his mother in order to seize his throne, and the ghost appeared in the Denmark in the house of Hamlet Prince and depicts Prince Hamlet and his revenge against his uncle Claudius. The ghost of his father appeared in the Hamlet house and depicts all the things: who has murdered him, who wants to seize his throne. So he really wants to take a revenge from him through his son Hamlet, who is now the Prince of Denmark. So here I have some important quiz questions, MCQ questions, which is very important for the students who are pursuing for the UGC NET and the Masters in English, and which is very important. And you have to do the lots of practice. So here we have some questions who have repeated in your exams in the UGC NET. Whom does Polonius send to France to spy on Learters? Reynolds. Where does the ghost appear during the play? The castle ramparts and gratitude bedchamber. How did the Claudius murder King Hamlet? By pouring poison into the air. Where does the university at which the Horatio and Hamlet studied? Wittenberg. Whose skulls does Hamlet discovers the churchyard? The former court jester. Which of the following character can't see the ghost? Gratitude. Who escorts Hamlet on the voyage to England? Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Where do Hamlet and Leartus fight during the Ophelia funeral? Inside the grave itself. Which of the following characters survived the play? Fortinbras, Horatio, and Ostrich. What does the Hamlet claim to be able to tell the difference between when the wind is from the south, a hawk, and the handsaw? In whose history of Denmark did the Shakespeare find background material for his play? Saxo Grammaticus. How does the Ophelia dies? She drowns in the rivers. Whose story does Hamlet ask the players to tell upon their arrival to Elsinore, Priam, and Hecuba. Why, according to the Polonius, has Hamlet gone mad? He is in love with Ophelia. Who is the last character to die in the play? Hamlet. How many characters die during the course of the play? 8. Who speaks the famous to be soliloquy? Hamlet. In what country do the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern die? England. Why does the Hamlet decide not to kill Gladius after the travelling players play? Gladius is praying. Who killed Fortinbras' father? Hamlet's father. So here we have some important questions about the Hamlet. And Hamlet is all about a tragedy of a son who suddenly know about his father death by the ghost appearing in the Denmark in house and tell him and let him know all the things, how the things um, gone and how the things are was happening. So these are the most important point, and Hamlet is all about a tragedy of a son and how he feels, how his he have emotions feelings about his father murder and how the way his uncle Claudius killed his father just because of he sees the throne of king and want to marry Hamlet father's mother and want to marry basically the wife of Claudius and how he feels now and which kind of emotions, which kind of a tragedy he have and all the plays going on through and how he tried to take a revenge mm, for his death of a father and how the all the things going on in the play. So all basically is a whole play is roaming around the sun who is in a depression, who is in dilemma, who is in the melancholy, who is in a very depressed and a sadness condition after the death of his father, and he really wants to take the revenge. And when he comes to know that his uncle Claudius have killed him by the ghost of his father, and how he plans all the things, how he can murder him, how he have plan all the things. So the whole play is going on and roaming around his Hamlet, the king of Denmark. So the play is all about melancholy and the depressed condition of our Hamlet after death of his father, and he really wants to take a revenge of his father death from his uncle Claudius. And the play is a Shakespeare longest play with the 29,551 words, which is set in the Denmark. The play depicts Prince Hamlet and his revenge against his uncle Claudius, who has murdered Hamlet's father in order to seize his throne and marry Hamlet's mother. So all the questions are very important. Like I'm going to recall all the questions because I really want to make you understand in the very deep manner. So whom does the Polonius send to France to spy on the letters? Reynolds. Where does the ghost appear during the play? The castle rampart and the gratitude bedchamber. How did the Claudius murder King Hamlet? By pouring poisons into the air. Where is the university at which the Horatio and Hamlet study? Wittenberg. Whose skulls does the Hamlet discovers in the churchyard? The former court gesture. Which of the following character can't see the ghost? Gratitude. Whose escorts the Hamlet on the voyage to the England? Rosencrantz and the Guardian and Grantsman and Guidestrand. Where do the Hamlet and the Learters fight during the Ophelia funeral? Inside the grave itself. Which of the following characters survive the play? Fortinbras, Horatio, and the Ostrich. What does the Hamlet claims to be able to tell the difference between when the wind is from the south? So the answer is a hawk and a handsaw. In whose history of Denmark did the Shakespeare find background material for his play? Saxo Grammaticus. Now, how does Ophelia dies? She drowned in the river. Whose story does the Hamlet ask the player to tell upon their arrival to the Elsinore, Priam, and Hecuba? Why, according to the Polonius, has the Hamlet gone mad? He is in the love with the Ophelia. Who is the last character to die in the play? Is the Hamlet. How many characters dies during the course of the play? 8. Who speaks the famous to be or to be the soliloquy? Hamlet. In what country do the Rosencrantz and the Guildenstern dies? England. Why does the Hamlet decided not to kill the Claudius after the traveling mm, play Claudius is praying? Who is killed? Fortinbras' father, Hamlet's father. So these are the most important questions. You have to recall all of them, and because it is very important, and for the preparation of UGC NET and other competitive exams. Uh, so you have to know all in that very deep manner. So I hope you like this very video, which is very important. Thank you so much.